You're watching Epic Sketch Time. My name is Mark Monlux. I'm the host of this group. I'm a freelance illustrator in Tacoma, Washington, and I like to draw cartoon reviews of movies. I've done 2 books called The Comic Critic Presents Seldom Seen Films and The Comic Critic Presents Blockbusters. If you'd like to see my movie reviews, please follow me on Instagram. And with me so far today is Bill. Bill, go ahead and take it over.
Okay, I'm Bill Morse. I'm a freelance illustrator and cartoonist working out of Seattle, Washington. I like doing on my spare time, I like doing slice of life comic strips, specifically one called Rhapsodies, which you can follow on my Twitter account, Instagram account, or Facebook. Or obviously the best one on the web page itself, rhapsodies.wpmorse.com.
So let's see, I'm going to try doing something. Just a sec. I'm going to send out an Twitter invite as soon as I find the invite button. Okay. So Bill,
yes.
Tell us about the Graphic Artists Guild convention that you attended.
Okay, I attended the Graphic Artists Guild annual meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is a very nice little town with some very nice examples of modern Art Deco architecture, and so cosmopolitan, I only heard one droll the entire time I was there. Well, technically 2, but I'm not sure if I should count the truck flight attendant as part of the city. And it was very, very fun, very much a endurance test, but always great to see the people that you're communicating with on a regular basis, face to face. And so great, exhausting trip since I had to get up ridiculously early both ways. And but otherwise, and glad to be back.
Okay, I think I'm hoping this is the right link I'm sending out by Twitter. There it goes. See if anything happens there. Let's see. I'm going to check real quickly in my MailChimp account. It should show me which campaigns I did successfully, because I do want to make sure that this went out. And if it's not hitting you, then I should let you know.
Yeah.
So
on a side note, speaking of that, do you have the phone app as well?
No, I don't think I have the phone app for it.
It's very useful, and sometimes will give you a little more information along with the stuff the page gives you. I found it's very useful, especially when it gives me the option of sending again to people who have not opened the message.
Well, Bill, I think we're going to have a very low turnout today because apparently the message I had scheduled to send out yesterday was only saved in a draft format.
Lovely.
So, was it not for you, there would be nobody else here.
I'm glad it wasn't me flaking out for a change. Because one time when I didn't get it, I didn't even
Yeah, so it might be a little, I don't think we'll get Ian or anybody else, because if they don't get any type of invites whatsoever, certainly not anything at the last minute.
Yeah.
You just can't expect that type of feedback. But I do have a little bit of show and tell.
Oh, good.
So, well, what we have here is.
Oh, I know what it is, but that came out so much better than I imagined where you were going.
Oh yeah, because we were only I mean, I was just doodling beforehand. So the way I created this was, first thing I did was recreate the logo that they had. And then I just started drawing hands. And I drew each hand as a separate element layer, just went with the lines. And then once I had I knew I wanted some basic cool colors, fairly washed out kind of zombie, the typical bad blue skin zombie.
Yes.
And
Right.
and then added this little white highlight on the hands. I did try a tone with red on the underside to see if that would look good with blood or stuff.
I don't think it would have. It did. You think it did?
No, I vetoed that right off.
Uh-huh.
Then I added. I have a bunch of stock blood splatters that I created for myself.
Nice.
And this one had the right splatter effect. And decided to add a gradation on it. I did try as well gradations on the various hands, but those didn't look good either. The color of the yellow, the flatness of it, really demanded some flat fills.
Mm-hmm.
And this looks so much better, even in person. Hang on, I will stop sharing. Go back to my oh man, I can't even find my Zoom here. Where am I?
It's the blue icon right to the.
Well, can you see me?
I can see at the moment you're still in screen share, and I see your letter.
Oh, maybe that'll do it. Maybe if I stop the screen share. Oh, that did it.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. There's Ian.
Oh, good.
Hello, Ian. Actually, where's Ian?
Hello?
Yay, there's Ian.
Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry that I kept you in the waiting room. I was sharing my screen and showing off this movie poster print I did.
Hey, it turned out well. Like it.
Yeah. You can did little white highlights that I then turned down to about 70% tone. So I printed one off as a proof because I've been making errors that I don't see until I do the final press run. So boy, I found like half a dozen on this thing.
Isn't
Like
that the case?
Like down here, you see that little dot?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's actually supposed to be blood, like on the top of the letter and not the bottom of the letters here, but somehow it ended up getting turned black. So I had to fix that. Then there were also little tangents, like that little sliver of yellow, there's a little sliver of yellow here. Just things that most people wouldn't really notice, but bugs you once you see them?
Oh, I cannot. I've lost count of the number of hours I've wasted with little dots that bug me.
So I took this to Freelance Fandango this morning, and James Stowe and I were ticking off all the little elements that all the little tiny pinpricks and things that would otherwise bug me. But
Yeah,
I'm really pleased with the simplicity of the design and how well it came out. So I'll
yeah,
be selling that this Friday.
very cool.
No, this Saturday, pardon me.
Well, for my show and tell, I'm on my home stretch for October. So let me see. I already showed you all Ancient and Dizzy, right?
Wasn't Dizzy?
Dizzy Gillespie, right?
Yeah, Dizzy Gillespie. Dizzy was Dizzy Gillespie.
Just making sure. Okay. Have them out of order here. Okay, so the next one, Tasty and Dark. And after that, Coat and Ride. Oh, I did have them out of order. Okay. And finally, wait a minute, where did I put it? Oh, this is it. And finally, Injured and Catch, which I did kind of as a sequel to Bait.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can show you guys the ones I did last week.
Okay.
So you should see, oh, hang on. There we go. So this is 8-legged.
Huh. That almost reminds me of the costume for Ursula in the Broadway version of Little Mermaid.
And then, whoops.
You showed that one before.
Yeah, sorry. Here's the other direction. This was supposed to be ooze, but I misspelled it as Aussie. So,
Aussie oozing all over.
yeah. This one was Curse.
Yeah, I've seen that you've been getting some really good feedback on that one.
Oh, what I've really been getting a lot of good feedback on is people are really enjoying the secret codes.
Yeah.
So this one, the secret code here says do not open.
And I asked before, but does that mean what I think it means?
What do you think it means? Who
knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Very good, Bill. That is exactly what it says. Very nice job. Let's see. This one says some horror movies are based on bad premises. So in this case, it was a party clown named Stitches who dies at a horrible death at a Halloween party through a knife in his eye, and comes back some years later to kill all the birthday attendees at yet another birthday. Pupa. Okay, and here's what, oh my God, I'm getting so bad. I have been not only doing typos on these, but I've also been misreading the props. And this was supposed to be Poppet, not Puppet. So I would have gone totally in a totally different direction with Poppet.
Well, technically a puppet. A poppet is like a voodoo doll that made out of straw or whatnot that witches use in sympathetic magic.
Oh, okay.
And it's a fairly common word. A lot of people call their little children puppet.
I mean, to a certain extent, you can get away with it because I've seen in 15th, 16th century documents it also meaning doll.
So can you guess what the code says?
I'm sure I can guess, but I will be completely wrong.
Okay. It says no strings on me.
Oh dear.
And then this was, oh, that's the movie poster I just finished. So, what are you working on right now, Ian? Because I haven't seen much in way of Inktober from you.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy. So I'm just trying to get the next comics out in time to meet my Patreon quota. I did kind of like a bulk writing session yesterday, and now I have 3 strips that I'm going to try to do thumbnails and if I can pencils today, and we'll see if I can try to do 3 inks tomorrow so I can get this all out before the end of the month. But yeah, I just been busy with everything else in the world. I have a contract renewal coming up, and so I'm reviewing my terms and everything, making sure the agreement's set up the way I need to, and it's a little nerve-wracking. It's not fun. I'm also trying to look at my expenses for next year in consideration of everything else, and making sure that I'm not cutting myself short. So it's been a busy month, but not a really fun one. What about you guys? Well, I saw the poster. How was the guild conference?
Exhausting but rewarding.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, came back with the official. This time we had an official shirt for it. So
Nice. Who's the designer?
Lemieux.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going through my old artwork, and I'm looking at elements that I think would make good enamel pins.
Yeah.
And I realized I have a whole bunch of tiki designs.
Oh, you can't go wrong with your tikis.
And so I'll show you some of my tiki designs, so you guys can tell me if you think they make good enamel pins or not. Let's see. So here's a series of 4 of them. That's one design.
I think you'd have to take out the cracks for it to work.
Yeah, I'd have to take out the cracks. Like I can see using let's see.
And making the lips all white rather than that accent. But that might, I don't know, that might come off the wrong way.
No, I think I'll have to make both the black and the white a gold color.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another tiki design I have.
I think I like that one better. But as far as what shrinks better is the question here.
Well, I'll probably use both of them. I thought, here's another tiki design, but again, I'd have to take off.
I don't think that one would look like a tiki once you shrink it down to the size. I mean, I know you have to simplify these things, but I don't think this one has enough detail for it to work.
You might be right there. And then there was this promotion I made for myself of Tiki Robot.
If I had a dime for every kid I saw playing with that picture, I think I'm convinced you really need to do something with it because it was really popular.
Well, a lot of people were telling me just do a bunch of different robots for pins.
Mm.
And let's see. But you're right, Bill. I think I might have to skip doing this tiki as at least not using this particular artwork. It looks good in person, but you're right. Once it comes down to like 2.5 inches, it just won't read as well as a traditional tiki thing.
Yeah, just curious. Was probably a stupid question. Was the Denver line some a in joke, or was it for Denver?
Oh, it's where I drew it.
Oh, okay.
I was actually in a Cuban restaurant, and there was a bunch of these tikis hanging on the wall that somebody had made with planks of driftwood. And I thought, oh, wow, those are really cool, primitive looking tikis. And so I drew one, and I thought, oh, that would make a nice, it was just something in my sketchbook that I later went in and elaborated on it. And let's see.
Mm.
These are some.
I think those one come off as too generic to me.
Now this was a logo I did for Tiki Phil and the Hula Kids.
Mm.
So I tend to draw a lot of tikis like this.
I think Tiki Phil's head, if you took away the body, Tiki Phil works fairly well.
Yeah, I think the Tiki Phil head would look great. I think I might do the pin and then send a couple of these off to him just as a lark. See what he thinks. Huh. I wonder if a just simple ukulele would make a good pin.
I think it looks good, but again, I worry that it might be too generic.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't catch as much as.
I'm sure in the right places, Nashville, you'd see tons of them at every souvenir store.
Anyway, I'm just trying to go back to my old archives and find artwork that might be usable for something else.
Mm. Yeah, I've been doing that as well. I mean, a lot of my my sketch challenge drawings are wonderfully recyclable. I don't do it quite as often because I don't want my portfolio to be exclusively Halloween themed, but
So I'm trying to remember if I have, besides this evening event on Saturday, if I also have a convention.
oh, speaking of conventions, how did Jet City go?
I had to give Jet City a pass this year.
Bummer. Well, technically I did too, but it's. I saw.
Sorry.
I mean, I had a few friends who went who were showing off their pictures, but.
There is an event this weekend. I'll go ahead and show it to you guys. Here's the screen share button. So the Washington State Toy Show, it's a one-day show.
I think I remember you mentioning this.
Yeah, this, about 5 years ago, this guy put together what he called the Puyallup Toy and Geek Fair. and it was a little one-day show, and I paid like $35 to be in it. And over the years, it's changed until it's now called SummerCon, and it's one of the largest conventions in Washington State now. And he just did a masterful job of getting really good, like almost a dozen actors or celebrities coming in to do signings. I'm trying to remember the name of the actor who played Chewbacca in the first 3 movies.
I was about to say David Prowse, but he's Darth Vader. Peter, I remember he died last year.
Right. I was able to get his autograph before he died.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have a huge amount of military vehicles coming in because it's at the Puyallup Fairgrounds. They also have like a dozen bouncy castles. It's really a family-oriented thing. But the show has gotten tremendously huge. And meanwhile, his people that he originally started with, the people that did the toys, they said, hey, we really would love it if you just did the toys and not all the other fancy stuff. And so he decided, okay, I'll do this one at the opposite end of the year and just go back to my roots. Normally he has celebrity vehicles as well.
Mm-hmm.
The first time he did it, he had the General Lee, hardly politically correct, but it was fun to climb into a car from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
That thing is nothing but a rusted bucket of bolts. I think they can just start her up and out just enough to get her up onto the trailer.
And how many considering how much punishment it must have gone through in that show, how many General Lees were there?
There were 3 General Lees.
Uh-huh.
There was the stunt General Lee. There was the tow General Lee, which they would tow behind another car.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that for location shots, or when they were when they were doing shots of the boys driving?
When they were doing shots of the boys driving. And that way they could control the camera and everything. And then there was the runaround, and this was the runaround,
Mm-hmm.
which still, it was pretty hard around the edges. I mean, like, you had to let the guy open and close the door because otherwise it may not close again properly.
I thought the doors, so the doors weren't welded shut in real life.
No,
huh?
not on the runabout.
Okay.
But I'm guessing they probably went in through the window because the doors were probably never that good to begin with on this thing. And maybe that's why they started doing it. Who can tell?
I mean, they claimed in the show that they were welded shut because that's a welding thing, a racing thing for stability.
Yeah. Movie magic, Bill. I'm sure.
Quoting what they said in the show, having watched.
How many times did you see Uncle Jesse, that old fart in the back of the General Lee? You think he squeezed in there through that little window? No, I'm pretty sure they opened up the door and flopped that seat forward for him. Ian, have you seen even a single episode of this wonderful show?
The Dukes of Hazzard?
The Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, just a good old boy. Yeah, it was. That was back in the day of MacGyver, A-Team, Knight Rider, just like all these like cool. I guess that was 80s, right?
Yeah.
But, I definitely remember loving to watch MacGyver, and then I would switch to make sure I caught like Knight Rider or whatever it was, A-Team or whatever.
And
And what was the helicopter one?
there were two of them, but I think you're thinking of Airwolf.
Airwolf, yeah.
He lasted a season.
So wait a minute, which one had Ernest Borgnine? Was that Airwolf?
That was Airwolf.
Okay.
Yeah, fun stuff. And there was a movie with like a special helicopter that had the same actor from Jaws. I can't remember his name.
That was called
Blue Thunder, which
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
which didn't do as well.
Yeah, there was something about that time where it was just like regular vehicles with buttons inside that did like amazing things. And you're like, yeah. But I mean, the General Lee just jumped, right? And that was
yeah.
I think last week or a week before, I caught something on YouTube of them restoring Ecto 1.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I mean, they really put a lot of money and care into that. That car looks beautiful now. But I mean, this was back when they were releasing the video game, so it's probably a few years old, that documentary. But man, the Ecto was not in good shape when they took it in, and they just got it back to pristine condition.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, it's funny with Dukes of Hazzard. Not only am I getting the theme song in my head, I'm suddenly thinking, remembering the tune to the Blasted Doll commercial. Here's the Dukes, good at Luke and Bo. This here's Daisy, and away they go. I will not do the lyrics of for the rest
please,
of it.
Bill, please.
I'm trying to think. What was what else had like cool vehicles? I mean, the Batman movies, but those came out in the '90s.
There was a motorcycle show called Street Hawk.
Really?
And there was a show, I'm blanking on the name completely, but it was one of those bullet boats. Are they called bullet boats or cigarette boats? Starring Hulk Hogan as an ex-Navy SEAL.
Wow, really? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, what was the
And then there was I don't know if this one counts. There was a detective show called Riptide, where the Riptide, the Riptide wasn't that cool, but they also had a Vietnam era
helicopter
called the Screaming Mimi.
which had a Screaming Mimi painted on it? Yes, I remember. It was a brother team, two brothers who had that. I loved that stupid show. I'm going to share my screen again to show you guys something. There's a movie called Topper.
Oh, I remember. I watched that one. I liked the book better, but it was.
Okay. And it starred Cary Grant and Claudia Corbett, I think it was. And they die after a car accident. And there was this car guy, and he would make these one-of-a-kind cars for the movies. And this is the one for Topper. And it was done with plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
So you get these wonderful streamlined forms. So here it is in the movie. It then went on to become a promotional car. They changed the front grille of it, and it made the rounds. At one time, it had a big speaker like in the Blues Brothers mounted on it. So now it's nice that it's actually made itself into a museum, but I personally prefer the original grille that it had.
Mm.
Oh, by the way, these those exhaust struts on the side of it, totally sheerly for aesthetics. I mean, it was a costume car from the get-go. And look at that tiny little window screen. Totally useless, so that got replaced. But yeah, I like finding or looking at cars in movies and trying to find them again.
Hmm.
The Mini Cooper was brought. It became popular in the U.S. after the first heist movie that had it in, and then when they did a remake of that heist movie, I'm trying to remember what it was called. What was it? Bank Job, or anyway, they redid it again about 10 years ago using new Mini Coopers. And
Are you talking about the Italian Job?
the Italian Job, that's it.
Oh, wow.
So when they redid the Italian Job the second time, once again, it totally reinvigorated purchases of that car in the U.S. I think my niece has one because she was totally enamored of it. And I have one of my clients still drives his around, but it's a very light car and does not do well on top of ice.
Huh.
So he always enjoys driving it around in wintertime because it's an adventure, he says.
Yeah, I'm reminded of all the James Bond cars, and like
yes, and Martin.
yeah, but what was the one that turned into the submarine? What was that?
Which one was that?
It wasn't an Aston Martin, was it? It was something else.
No, it was. I don't think it was an Aston Martin. Let me take a look.
But I used to love watching those movies just to see the gadgets in the cars. Like I love that stuff. There was I don't know how popular it was. I saw it because it was in the library where I lived, but I think it's like Concord Man or something like that.
Condor Man?
Condor Man.
Condor Man, yeah. Yeah, do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I know of it.
It's like a cartoonist gets recruited by the CIA or something, and they end up making like all of his characters and all of his equipment real. So he becomes the real Condor Man.
It's
like
bizarre.
how much of a fantasy is that for an artist, huh?
Yeah, it's bizarre. I always get it mixed up with Night of the Condor, which is a completely different film.
Hmm.
So I'm going to show you another car from the movies here. This is the car from the movie The Car.
I don't think I even know that one, unless I'm getting it mixed up with the Stephen King one, Christine.
No. This is a precursor to Christine. Oh, dang it. Where'd it go? I lost it. So look at this car.
Can you share your screen, Mark?
I'm sorry. Hang on. There we go. Can you see it now?
I see your screen, but I don't see a car.
You might be on the wrong window there.
Oh, hang on. Let me try that again.
Facebook right now.
Hang on. I'll stop. Share screen.
Okay, I see it now.
So this behemoth. I mean, look at this grill. It was made so that the flashlights would look angry.
Yeah.
And
it's a Ford Granada?
It's a modified Ford Granada.
Or is it Grenada? How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Granada.
It's Granada.
Yeah.
Anyway, but it was basically designed to look like this big, giant, flat, ugly brick.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks fake that way.
It's actually supposed to be a demon in car form. So look at that. It's a 1970s horror movie that everyone should. I mean, look at that mad-looking car. Yeah.
I wonder if I've seen this. This is the type of thing my pop would love to watch.
Oh,
but I can't remember.
It's
Oh, it's worth watching. It holds up a little bit. You know?
It's definitely mean looking. Like if that thing was like chasing me down the highway, I'd be freaking out. But...
So anyway, so we were talking about I was really into all of the crazy vehicles of the science fiction world, like the.
Oh, like the DeLorean from Back to the Future and stuff.
that's
Oh
almost
no, I'm older stuff.
how about the car in Frankenstein Lives?
Frankenstein Lives. Which car is that?
It's a sort of science fiction-y car where essentially it's all about a time traveler who travels to the night in Switzerland where Shelley and company are writing their stories, but the story Frankenstein is happening.
Okay, that is called Frankenstein Reborn. I think it's the name of that movie.
I'm sure I'd remembered if it was that.
What do you think the title is?
I thought it was Frankenstein Alive or Frankenstein Lives.
Oh, hey, we got 4 minutes left, guys. Just FYI.
Okay. No, I'm talking about the really fanciful, the flying sub from 20,000 Leagues Underneath the Sea.
Oh, that thing's a thing of beauty. Was it ever anything more than just a 20-foot model?
Yeah, that. What is that? The Nautilus?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing is awesome.
Let's see. Oh, I'll pull it up. It was called the Moebius. Wait, no. Pardon me.
Yes.
That's Moebius Models that does it. So here's the flying sub part. I loved how it would come out of the bottom of the big sub. And let's see, the other, there was Land of the Giants. Also had another weird plane thing. Here we go. Oops, sorry. I jumped the gun there. I just want to find a picture of the plane. Here we go. And I made models out of both of these things. I just loved them so much. It just had this weird, groovy look to it.
It reminds me a lot of those. What are those like adventure shows or movies that had nothing but puppets?
I know what you're talking about. But gentlemen, we have less than a minute, so I'm going to sign off. You have been watching Epic Sketch Time. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Jesus.
Is that our sign-off music?
Who's doing that?
Bye, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Good.
That was awesome. Can we keep that? I really want that.
I'm hoping that we can. Yes.
Every time when we finish, just start the music.
It all falls apart. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you gentlemen next week at Epic Sketch Time, and maybe we'll get Stowe in here. I know that he was going to try to make it today.
Okay.
All right. I actually might not make it next week, so I'll see you the week after, I suppose. But take care, guys.
Apologies for not getting those invites out. I meant to send. Apparently, I had a draft ready to go last night and forgot to hit the final button.
No worries. No worries.
I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Bye.